Hi guys, it's Otaku Gunso, and today I'm here with week 4 hair dye, which, as you can see, I'm starting to get a little bit of new growth. Take a look at that. And this is actually around the time where the green starts to kind of wash into the blue and stuff like that, and kind of make the blue look a little bit green and stuff. But it's still very vibrant, and I'm still loving it a lot. And yeah, I kind of want to see how long I could run with this until I have to re-dye my hair again. But yeah, that's actually not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is actually a video that I've been wanting to make for a long time and finally got around to making it because I actually have the time to talk about it. But yeah, how I got into anime, folks. How did I get into anime? Very funny story. Also, very long story. Just gonna let you guys know from the get-go because anime has been in my life for a really long time. And once you are done watching this video, you will learn that that is indeed a fact. So, yeah, I actually had two means of discovery as far as anime goes with me. Like, obviously, the first discovery was when I was a small child and didn't really know what anime was. And then there was the time in which I was older and then realized that anime was a thing and then started to actively pursue it and all that kind of stuff and pretty much everything else being history from then on in, leading me to this point in which I am right now. Which, yeah, let me first start all the way back, the earliest memories in which I have watching anime. Now, I was about 6 or 7 years old when I saw Voltron, and that was pretty much my show. Like, I was totally obsessed with Voltron. Now, I'm sure some of you guys who know Voltron, you probably know it as Voltron, or if you saw the Japanese version, then you probably know it as Go Lion, or whatever, and you're probably also thinking like, wait a minute, didn't you say you were a 90s kid? Voltron came out in the 80s, da-da-da-da. It's like, well, it came on again in the 90s, and this was actually kind of back when Toonami first started, so, yeah, that was a pretty huge deal. But like I said, Voltron was my show, and the day was not complete until I saw Voltron, and I was like super obsessed with it. Of course, I was so obsessed with it to the point where I ended up not getting the big giant Voltron figure thing or whatever, even though I wanted one really badly. But, you know, unfortunately, you can wish for these things when you're a small child and then end up not really getting them. So, yeah. But anyway, moving on. The years kind of went by, and then there were like some other shows that came on. Like, I remember Card Captors, which I was, into for the most part, and I remember Sailor Moon, which I was also into. So was everyone for the most part. Of course, I was around for like the big Pokemon boom, and yes, I actually did used to have Pokemon cards. Now, I wasn't good at the card game. I actually kind of sucked at it, but I did used to have Pokemon cards, and I was really surprised thinking back on it because of how much of a deal that my folks made about Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff, which I didn't even get into until later. But anyway, so one of my favorite shows back from when I was a small child was actually Tenchi, like Tenchi Muyo and Tenchi Ryoki. Not so much Tenchi in Tokyo, but I had a lot of love for Tenchi pretty much in general at that point. And I remember, like I said in another video where I was talking about how I used to make VHS tapes and stuff like that, Tenchi was actually one of those shows that I used to make the VHS tapes of and just like record it and stuff like that and then watch the videos back and everything. Because, like I said, I had so much love for the show that I wanted to watch it again and again and again and again. Like I said, I was super obsessed with Tenchi at that time. Literally to the point where I would record all the episodes and watch them over again and all this other type of stuff. And I actually used to draw back then, so that was another thing. Like, I used to pause the TV. Like, when I'd be watching a video, like, I used to pause the TV and, like, try to draw and stuff like that. And this was, like, back when it just used to be, like, a flat image and I didn't know about shadowing or highlights or anything like that. But, anyway, like I said, Tenchi was like, Tenchi was where it was at. And then I had like a little bit of love for Pokemon for like a little while. And, that was kind of that. So then, there was a point in which that I wasn't really watching much of anything. Like, kind of like after I fell out with Pokemon and kind of after Tenchi wasn't really a thing anymore. And before I move on past that, I'm just going to say for the record, I actually was not a fan of Dragon Ball Z. Like, I have to be honest about that right now. Like, in before the huge crap storm, literally. Because my brother used to be really, really obsessed with Dragon Ball Z. Like, he used to be so obsessed with it that he used to run around telling people that he was a Super Saiyan or something. And I was like, really? And I mean, I'm not sure to say that it was because of him that I didn't like it, or because of the fact that he was so into it that I didn't like it. But I remember seeing like a few episodes and I just really, really couldn't get into it. But that's just me. Like I said, I don't have no hate for Dragon Ball Z. Like, I realize what it's done for the anime community and like all the people who came up with me, like grew up with me, and they got into anime because of Dragon Ball Z, and I don't deny that or anything like that. I just personally couldn't get into it myself. And like I said, that's just me once again. So, yeah, after I fell out with Pokemon and then Tenchi wasn't coming on TV anymore and stuff like that, one of my first loves before anime, I must be honest and say, was actually video games. So, yeah, video games have been in my life for as long, like literally since I was old enough to pick up a controller. But that's another story for another day. So if I wasn't watching TV shows and anime and all this other type of stuff, then I was playing video games. And yeah, that was pretty much that. So for a while I wasn't really watching anything on TV for the most part, and that was kind of like between, I'm going to say, the time of middle school and then like once I got into high school. And then when I got into, like right about when I was about to enter my sophomore year of high school, I kind of hopped back on the anime train again. Compliments of Sonic X. Now, I don't know if anybody remembers the Sonic X anime, but yeah, it was actually a thing. And there used to be a website where I used to get screenshots and stuff, because like I said, I used to draw. And at this point, I learned about like shadowing and cross-hatching and all that kind of stuff. And when I used to draw the pictures of the characters, when I would, take the picture and print it out and look at the picture, because like I said, the artist in me failed at that point in time to where I actually had to look at a freaking picture to draw it and, pretty much do like whatever. But at least I wasn't tracing. But anyway, so I used to just do the pictures in black and white, and I used to draw them, and I used to do like the cross-hatching thing and everything like that. And I actually used to give them to people, and for the most part, like I would either do that or I would just like show them off to people and things like that. And it was quite a conversation starter, to say the least. And that was pretty much that.